Lately.
Welcome to Symmons Plains and round 3 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Mark Skaife and Jim Richards top the leaderboard in their Nissan GT-Rs. Well, when we left Symmons Plains last night, John Bowe had pole position. Of course, the Peter Jackson Dash opens proceedings on a Sunday morning, and unfortunately, John Bowe pulled position number 6. Here we are with the start. Glenn Seton pulled number 1 out of the bag, and he led early from Dick Johnson. Then we saw Johnson streak around the outside, having a little contact and a little bodywork hanging off the car there, but he was still able to outdistance himself. It was a fantastic drive from Dick Johnson and gave him the opportunity, of course, to sit on pole position today. But if I guess one driver is disappointed, it's John Bowe, who has been the fastest man in 3 touring car rounds, but will start not off pole today. Off the start, has Seton won it? He sure has. He gets away quickly, but John Bowe in the number 18 car picks up a gear and comes up smartly as they come up to the first corner. And Mark Gibbs on the outside, that is not the line to the first turn. He's going to get caught very wide here, but he goes in deep, and he'll get plenty of acceleration off that four-wheel drive car as he comes off the bend. As John Bowe tries to get to the outside of Dick Johnson, he's a little quicker than Gibbs coming down the back straight, but it's Glenn Seton who will lead them down through the curve. Johnson right on his tail, then comes John Bowe.
Here comes Brock down the outside of Gibbs as they head into the hairpin. And the Commodores having quite a competitive run here, considering they haven't had a lot of testing time. Brock run down the outside, not the place to be. Gibbs gets the acceleration of the four-wheel drive Nissan out of there a little bit better. But watch the power advantage of the Commodore. Up about 50 horsepower on the GT-R and 100 kilograms lighter. This is where power to weight ratios come into play. Here's Skaife running in 6th position. His teammate Richards is still round the back of the field. And that's a real change from last year. 12 months can make a lot of difference in motor racing.
And John Bowe in car number 18 getting to the outside of team leader Dick Johnson. That moves him up into 2nd. Johnson back to 3rd now. Meanwhile, Glenn Seton gets away from the pack in car number 30, the Peter Jackson entry. The exit to the hairpin, and Mark Skaife, car number 2, finding the inside line there on Peter Brock.
There's Wayne Park still in the pits with some sort of major engine problem. That's a great disappointment for the young Queenslander. The Commodores are struggling around here. Oh, look at that massive brake lock up there.
Oh, and he's gone. It must have a puncture.
Now he's in the soft stuff. He's got the foot into it to try and get a bit of traction. He might get out.
Yeah, I think he'll get out okay. It's fairly dry down there, as you can see. Problem here for Wayne Park sitting it out in the pits, and Glenn Seton in car number 30. Oh, right behind Seton, there's one gone. Bowe's gone sideways.
They must be jumping on the brakes down into the hairpin more than we anticipated. It is a tough corner. You do have to pull up for it, but he's resorted to reversing out of the way. It looks like a lot of oil dripping out of that engine, Michael. I think he can kiss it goodbye. He's just being polite here and getting out of the corner. He's not even trying to.
Yep. It wasn't just a while spin, something let go, and maybe he lit up the bags on the oil, so who knows, but that's a major problem for John Bowe, and I tell you what, it has left an enormous amount of oil down there.
Side by side, door handle to door handle down the back straight. This is the battle for 5th and 6th. Richards has a nose in front, but Gibbs has probably got the best position.
He can stay with him as long as he stays parallel with him, but he had to.
And Jim's trying
discretion.
Nissan race cam shows us Richards goes a little bit deeper under brakes and leads Gibbs out of the corner, so he moves up to 5th. Gibbs goes one back down to 6th.
He's coming down to the last series of turns. This will give them some joy. The Peter Jacksons here of Glenn Seton comes out, heading down to take the checkered flag. So Seton takes heat number 1. Dickie Johnson easing up, coming across the line, takes 2nd. Not too far behind him was Mark Skaife, followed by Tony Longhurst. Then Jimmy Richards, Mark Gibbs and Alan Jones. Neil Crompton the next one, and Wayne Park rounding out the finishes. Only a few seconds away from the start of the 2nd heat, the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship from Symmons Plains. The 2 Sierras on the front row. Off the start, the 2 Nissans get away beautifully. And it's a full drag as they go to the first turn. The BMW got away, and it's going to be Glenn Seton on the inside and Dick Johnson the outside. Now Johnson's got to get across and tuck in behind Seton. Look at Longhurst going right around them, and he'll pay the penalty as far as horsepower is concerned on the exit to that turn. but it'll be Seton looking for 2 out of 2 as he comes down to the right-hand kink, and he'll lead the field as they start to build up to full-on speed. Seton opens it up to 2 car lengths over Johnson. Then you've got the little bimmer up on the inside of Mark Skaife. Fascinating this. And of course Neil Crompton in there as well, and Peter Brock starting from the back of the field with a 10-second penalty.
Look at Crompton pushing his way through the pack there. Longhurst, by way of his excellent start in the first heat, starting 4th on the grid, and he's been pushed back in the power race up the back straight for the first time. But there's Crompton up there in 4th position. That's a great start from him.
They come across under the line, 1 lap down, still a lot to go. Glenn Seton in the 30-car leads from Johnson. And now watch the acceleration here, the exit to this turn. Mark Skaife dives in, pulls back on the inside, and watch the horsepower, 4-wheel drive, no advantage, huh?
No, not much.
But well, watch Johnson now with horsepower.
And hasn't it got some horsepower? Johnson leaves Skaife behind as they head the back straight into the loop for the first time. The Ford not lacking in front. But look at Crompton. This is a great run from Niels on Wheels. Hasn't been happy with the car all the weekend. He wasn't happy with the handling in the first heat. It's his first time at Symmons Plains, and he's really enjoying himself in this second heat, up in 4th place.
Well, this is good stuff, and there's plenty happening even back behind this group as Mark Skaife works to the outside. He's trying to get a line here on Johnson.
Skaife's getting aggravated now, Michael. You can see he's bound. When you see the car wobbling like that, he's pushing it to the limit. He's really getting frustrated by Dick's position here. Dick taking all the lines he should to protect his line of attack, but here we have the Winfield Nissan coming up on the outside. It's not going to do him a lot of good. Little underbrakes. He's taking the dive.
Okay, he'll go through. He picks the inside rear wheel up on the curb on the exit.
Bond has been snookered by Dick.
Oh,
He gives him a
out of
hefty. There was plenty of body contact
You
there.
taught him well, Al.
Yeah, Colin wants to make up for it. Well, that's what you can do when you have the confidence with the tires, and let's be kind to the others. He's got a brand new fresh car here, fresh engine and fresh tires, so he can thrash it around the corners much more confidently. Dick is struggling around on a set that he's already given pretty much a serve of curry in the first heat, but I think Neil's doing extremely well here. We must compliment him.
I get the feeling that Dick may be holding him up, certainly on some sections of the circuit.
Well, I'll tell you what, in reading this one, I think you find that the next maybe 5 or 6 laps, you're going to see Bond make an absolute charge at Mark Skaife. They come off the Dunlop Bridge area. That's Alan Jones going through. There's Johnson. Right behind him, Neil Crompton. Up on the inside comes Wayne Park in the second of the PJ cars. Come on, Dick, he said, get on with it.
Gives him a serve. There's plenty of glass flying everywhere. Look at this gaggle of cars behind them. The 2 Nissans, Dick Johnson and the other Alan Jones BMW locked in behind there. This is a terrific race. As you can see, here he goes outside Skaife as they head under brakes. The GT-R is very strong in the braking department. Bond going deeper and deeper. He's done it easily.
The big thing now, Alan, is that Bondy could actually be the series spoiler for today. Seton really, after losing points at Sandown last weekend where he had a terrible time, Bondy hasn't run the first heat, and if he gets Seton, he's going to cost Seton some points here today, and Seton really did need those 30 series points at the end of the afternoon. Coming up underneath the Dunlop Bridge, and here comes Jim Richards. Working to the outside, but Dick's already there, and Dick will stay to the inside as they go up to the left-hander and actually gets away from Jim. Now the brakes as Longhurst, I think the moment of truth.
And went just a little bit wide there to let Crompton know that he had taken charge of that corner. He just cost Crompton a little bit of time there, couldn't quite get on. He's having another go at him, but that was a very nice strategic move by Tony Longhurst. Just ever so subtle.
It was.
A bit further back there, behind that battle, is Johnson and Richards. Johnson's doing a remarkable job to hold Richards off up till now. But Jim sneaks through.
He knows he has the race won at this stage. And he's driven a great 2 races here today at Symmons Plains. The dust has been on the circuit up at that top end all day. They're coming down to the final series of heats, and the Peter Jackson Ford Sierra of Glenn Seton comes up with a double at round 3 today at Symmons Plains, Tasmania. He wins from Colin Bond's Caltex Sierra, and 3rd goes to Mark Skaife in the Nissan. 4th going to Park, and 5th to Jimmy Richards.
Well done, Glenn. Great to see you back in form. The Peter Jackson car running extraordinarily well.
Yeah, it's actually running very well. I was very surprised at how our form was today. I'm very, very happy. But once we start to get to the circuits at the end of the rounds, we're going to find it fairly hard in the tight circuits. So these are the circuits that suited us.
So, progressive points after 3 rounds. Skaife the leader on 84, Richards on 72, Seton on 66 now, and Dick Johnson 57.